Inside Leominster is brought to you through the generous support of Colonial Insulation Company, residential and commercial insulation and fireproofing services, specializing in blown-in cellulose as well as spray foam insulation. For more information, visit their website, colonialinsulation.com. And by Medical Arts Hearing Instruments, 52 West Street in Leominster, locally and authentically providing better hearing and quality of life since 1978. www.donotshout.com.
Here we go. We're live tonight, and my name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the City of Leominster. Yes, live tonight as we are each and every Thursday night, live streaming through leominster.tv. Or you can go to the Facebook page for Leominster TV and watch that way from anywhere in the entire universe. You can go, we're streaming live through my own personal Facebook page. And so you can watch us on channel 8, Carl, right? Channel 8 is Comcast.
Yes.
Channel, what is Verizon? 34 on Verizon. So there are a bunch of different ways to see us here at Inside Leominster, and we welcome your calls tonight. We know people may have plenty of questions. It gets a little, if you're watching the news, it gets a little bit overwhelming and overpowering, but if you're interested in the local response to the coronavirus, by all means, give us a buzz here. We'll be here for the next hour. We do have a guest. We'll be talking about the census. But first, let's jump over to Art for the Art Report.
Good evening.
It is a very interesting evening.
It is. First off, I'd like to comment on how absolutely wonderful last week's show was with the future of Leominster. Those children showed so much poise, and when they had that microphone, didn't faze them.
Nope.
And watching how them explain their paintings, it was really what TV should be all about.
Yeah, no, it's, you know, there were a lot of people that the feedback was couldn't get there that night, wanted to see my grandson, daughter, friend, neighbor, and so people were very happy that we were able to get there, and kudos to the crew here at Inside Leominster and LTV to make sure, I mean, they got close up, and those kids were articulate and talented and excited about what they were doing. And
well,
kudos.
I think I saw the next mayor. The last gent with the bow tie and the nice colors with the red hair. A lot of character shown in that little guy, I'll tell you.
He's the man. He's squared away, as they say, right? Squared.
That was really cool.
Yes.
And the missus is finally on the road to recovery. We just finished up her last LASIK eye surgery.
Nice.
So we've heard top to bottom. She's now just all we got left now is the future and eye drops.
And the marathon.
And let's not forget that a week from, actually this coming Monday, tentative opening at Gardner.
Nice.
Oh, I can't wait.
You know, that's actually
a long time.
I would think that actually, with all the hype of the coronavirus, I would suspect that being in an outdoor area like that, playing golf, is probably an okay thing. I would assume, right?
Oh yeah, it's no question about it.
Yeah, you're away from each other.
I'd see the day they're canceling everything sports-wise.
Yeah.
But look at the Celtics. Two of the players, they flew them home today, and two of them have the virus.
Yep. No, it's.
And I don't think I'd want to be on the same plane. You're breathing all that stuff that they're breathing. And I don't know. I'm glad we're doing this so it doesn't get out of control and out of hand.
Well, I think that's the thing, is they're trying not to panic. As I say, my motto is prepared, not panic. But at the same time, you've got to be ready. And we'll talk a lot about sort of preparation, because you don't want to get caught in the last sort of minute. And I understand the president is on, doesn't want to I mean, you could bankrupt the economy in about 15 minutes if you don't say the right words. I mean, obviously.
Oh, it's going crazy.
Yeah,
The stock market's always been emotional.
Right.
And, you know, in your position as well, where you spend a lot of time shaking hands and talking to people, you've got to be careful.
Very much so.
You've got to keep some of that sanitizer close by.
It's everywhere. I'm near a sink all of the time. I've always been that way, but
yeah, that's good.
well, because you don't want to spread anything, whether it's a cold or a flu or anything. Not that you just don't want to be passing that stuff around, right?
No.
So we got lots to talk about tonight to update everybody, and we'll be talking about the census. Yep.
Yeah, we got that form in the mail, and we were wondering if it was bogus. But I guess it's not, because they showed the same form on the news.
Those are all the questions we're going to answer tonight.
Good. Because there's so much stuff going on today. You got to be careful with your money and what you say yes to and no to.
Absolutely.
Okay, buddy.
All right. Good to hear from you, and good news on the missus.
Yeah. That's, you know what? It's a great sign. Two of my favorite meals from her is naturally her meatballs and pasta. And she made a dish the other night. I thought of you.
Oh.
It was unbelievable.
See?
It was old school Italian with these little wriggly pasta things, and there was cherry tomatoes.
Oh, man.
Spinach, broken up sausage.
Oh.
And a few other things in a red sauce, and it was like a thick stew.
Oh, man.
It was to die for.
Oh, boy.
That and shepherd's pie.
Oh, there you go. You're like a king.
Oh, we're back on schedule with the oven. It made a grunt that didn't know what was going on.
There you go.
And my rubbish outside got half the bags now because it was all takeout before, you know?
All right. Now you'll be filling that baby up.
There you go. All right, have a good one.
All right, At.
All right, stay healthy, everybody.
I will. That's the
All
plan.
right.
Take care. 978-537-7760 is the number to call here at Inside Leominster. And you can always email me your questions. I will get them here at dmazzarella-ma.gov. I'm sorry, it's dmazzarella@leominster-ma.gov. And again, we're streaming live. You can watch through my Facebook page, right, Kerwin? We're on live, right?
Absolutely.
And people are watching?
Yeah, people are watching.
All right. And so you can also catch us on the Leominster.tv Facebook page. And you can catch us on Channel 8 Comcast and also Verizon. But if you have a question at all, give us a buzz. We will. Or you can call here, ask the question, and I will answer it offline if you don't want to come on live with us tonight. That's for any question at all. 978-537-7760, extension 3. They'll take the question, and I will give you an answer, and you can just hang up if you're more comfortable with that. We're going to take a short break right now. We're coming back, and we'll be talking. We have a lot to talk about tonight, so we're going to move quickly. But next, we'll be talking about the census. Be right back. We're trying to, I know some people are watching on Facebook on my own page, and I guess the volume is not all that healthy.
Tell them to go to Leominster TV.
Go to Leominster TV, to Dumbminster.tv or Leominster TV. Go to Facebook, Dumbminster TV on Facebook and watch it that way, and you'll see the same thing that you're seeing here. So I don't know, is that any better? Anybody that's watching, can you just let us know if that's any better at all? We're a little bit closer.
I'll give you a thumbs up.
Okay, let us know. Anyway, tonight with us is Adriane Queiroz? Queiroz, with Partnership Specialist, U.S. Census Bureau.
That's correct.
And so some people are already saying that they got their census. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, today is a very exciting day for us. Been working a long road, and today the census started.
This is the kickoff night.
Kickoff, exactly.
So is it possible some people already got their census today?
Yes, today. And unfortunately, I went to my mailbox, so excited to get my letter, but it wasn't there.
No.
So it will be between today and the 20th.
Right.
Yep.
And so I think the first caller said he wasn't sure that was the right document or something. So is there a way to, does it say official or something? I mean, you never know. I mean, because people are always putting things out that look like
I know.
important things, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I get a stack of mail every day and I open it up because I'm not sure what's in it.
Yeah.
It might be a renewal for a credit card. It could be anything.
That's true.
And so I'm never sure exactly what it is. So I have to open it.
Yeah. Well, on the envelope, it says 2020 census, U.S. Census. So one of the things that you have to look for. And it says 2020 census on it. So you can be sure that if you get an envelope with that, it is to respond. It is the questionnaire.
Back in the control room, do we have a call relating to census or?
It's Crystal.
All right, she's going to have to call us back if possible. Just so we can stay. We've got so much to do tonight, so we have to kind of keep things moving. What can you expect from the process? I mean, people get it. They have to fill it out. I know there are a lot of questions about what if I don't fill it out? And
Right.
So if you get it and you fill it out and send it in, all done?
All done, all done. And it gives you representation, political representation,
Right.
because it sets the number of seats in the House of Representatives, congressional districts, and so much more. So it gives you the political power and also gives you the federal funding
Right.
that many thousand cities need. So it's more than $675 billion that is at stake. So if everybody's counted in your city, so then you can be sure that you're going to have everyone covered here in federal fundings. And this, it's for public services, it's for roads, transportation, new schools.
Yeah, that's critical.
And lots of other social services too, Medicare, Medicaid, Head Start, WIC, and so many more. Just a long list.
And we got one shot to do this. We did this 10 years ago. We got another shot for another 10 years. So if we don't get this right, we're a little bit of trouble, right? I mean, we're at a disadvantage because they only do it once every 10 years.
That's right. You can only fix it in the next 10 years, for the next 10 years. So that's so critical to have everyone counted, and everyone counted means that we really need to look for the communities, the people that are most missed, historically missed, which is children under 5, the immigrant population, the people of color. And so many more that are historically missed in the decennium.
Absolutely. And so let's walk through the process. So I get my census, I fill it out, I'm done.
You're done.
I take it and I say, let me put it over here with the stack of other things that aren't so important. I'm kind of busy right now. What's going to happen then?
Well, you're going to have a few reminder letters.
Okay.
We're going to send you a few one reminder letter, then a postcard. But then by April 8th, if you don't respond, then we're going to send you the paper questionnaire. Because people might not, want to do it over the phone or online.
So you're going to send a what questionnaire?
I'm going to send the paper questionnaire,
The
old-fashioned way, the paper questionnaire. Yes. So they will be receiving it by April 8th. After that, they will have another reminder card if they don't fill out on those 3 ways. And then by May 13th, you will have someone knocking on your door.
Dean Mazzarella, what are you doing? We mail you all this. Just fill it out. We need you to fill it out. You must have forgot. You must have got busy. somebody was sick or whatever happened and you forgot to fill it out. And so we really, I mean, this is the extent of how badly we need people to fill it out. Now, let's talk about the privacy part, because I know people will say, I don't want to be giving my information out, right?
Exactly.
And you take this, and government, and big government, and I know this is what they do, and they do facial recognition, and this is just another thing, and they're just going to tie it all in, and the answer to that is absolutely not, correct? This is 100% anonymous.
Yeah, so the census is easy, as I told you. It's safe and it's important. So the safe part is that personal information is kept under wraps. So by Title 13, which is in the U.S. Code of Law, no personal information is released.
So nobody can go there and say, I want this information. Not even Congress.
No.
Nobody can go there and say, I want somebody's personal information. I want to know every single person who's 20 years old, 30 years old. I want to know how many, right? I mean, they'll take the data that you could get your hands on, but you can't get your hands on any individual personal information.
Exactly.
Correct?
We don't use any personal information or household information and disclose that to the public. So the president will be getting all the results by December 31st, 2020, but only the numbers.
Right.
So he'll
Raw
have the
data
numbers.
He's going to get.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to get data. Now,
Yep.
what if
Only
I'm
the
here and
numbers.
I'm a little bit worried because of immigration, and I'm here on a green card, or maybe my green card expired, or whatever it might be? Does the U.S. Census want to count those people as well?
We want to count everyone living in the United States.
Okay.
We want to count them once,
If
only
you're here,
once, and
they
in the
wanna
right
count.
place.
And
Yes.
are they going to turn that over to ICE? Is that
No.
information?
Again, Title 13 protects your personal information. So we at Census Bureau, we don't share your personal information with any other government agency, so ICE, FBI, Homeland Security, state, or any other agency in the federal government, or courts. And also that is the Title 26 that protects you of sharing any other information with IRS. So those code of laws are really serious. I take an oath of confidentiality. If I break that, I might have 5 years in prison or $250,000 in fine, or both. And it's a high risk, severe penalty for someone who does that.
And as long as the census has been taken, there's never been a breach where somebody got that information. That's a pretty amazing thing when you think about how many people there are in this country. I mean, the hundreds of millions of people there are in this country, never once has the system been breached. That's pretty impressive.
It's very serious. It's very serious.
Right. Well, you have to, otherwise people won't take it serious, right? And they won't fill it out.
Exactly. So we take it really seriously, and this is really important for people to know that no matter what kind of immigration status you have here, your kids are going to school, you're taking transportation, and you're living here, then you should be counted.
There are people who are maybe homebound or elderly or people with disabilities. They might need some help from a neighbor or a caretaker. Absolutely. If you're a caretaker, if you're a caregiver, if you're a neighbor, try to help out.
The most that you can, yes.
The best that you possibly can, and send it in, or you can call for information if you'd like. Does the Census Bureau need any help? Do they already have all the help they need, or are they still looking to hire people?
Thank you for that question. We have a window of opportunity still. That is a window of opportunity for those interested to apply for jobs. 2020 census.gov/jobs. 2020 census.gov/jobs.
And they'll tell you all about what jobs are still available.
Yeah, so we are still hiring for enumerators, and we are paying $22 an hour for the Ulster County. We are asking for a minimum of 20 hours a week, or maybe 40 if you have. It's great for someone who already has a job, so 10 to 20 hours a week. If you can do a part-time with us, it will be great. We work from 9 to 9. So people can do nights and also over the weekend. So this is a great opportunity. And it's not for too long. It's temporary. It's for 6 to 8 weeks the most.
Right. Good. Is there anything we didn't cover yet? I know I saw you do this presentation at the Haitian, American event there at the Haitian American North Central, and you did a great job. And I was trying to think of all the things that you said so I could help dialogue with it. Is there anything I forgot?
No, the census is mandated by the Constitution of the United States.
Right.
So we really need everyone to respond to the census. And if you don't want anybody knocking on your door, though, respond to the census the best that you can by May 12.
Okay.
Because May 13 is when you're going to be deploying the census enumerators.
And if people have a language barrier?
People have a language barrier, no problem, because we have online and over the phone. we have a new system. It's a language support.
Right.
They have
See,
12.
I was listening.
That's a
I was
good
going to say
job.
13. Little tap on my pillow.
Yeah, I deserve that.
12 languages.
12 non-English languages, that's right. So besides that, we have 59 non-English languages that will be available on our website.
Incredible.
So people can watch a video and also see the language glossaries, they see all the documentation and go back to the online version or the paper questionnaire and respond. So there's no excuse because of language.
Right. All right. Thank you very much. That was
you.
very helpful.
Thank
That's
you.
the second time I've seen you do the presentation. You do a
Great.
great job of it.
Thank
and
you.
I will keep reminding everybody to fill out that census.
Perfect.
Get it over with. Don't procrastinate. This isn't like being in the 8th grade and you've got that test coming up. Instead of studying, you know you have the test in 2 weeks and then you wait for the night before, right?
I know.
Just get it over with. Fill it out.
Get it done.
There's nothing negative about filling this out.
No.
Even if you're an anti-government person who doesn't believe in big government, it doesn't matter. This is about funding and representation.
Exactly.
And so even if there's a list of 10 positive things and you only agree with 5, then
There
agree
you
with the
go.
5, but fill it out and send it in. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to take a short break here, and we'll be. Do we have photos of the week at all?
Yes.
We do.
Yes,
Okay.
we have photos.
Let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll do photos of the week, and then we'll talk about obviously the coronavirus. Be right back.
March 12, 1937. The announcement is made for the start of the Route 2 construction. Route 2 is a Massachusetts state highway that runs east-west from the New York state border to Boston. First known as the New England Interstate Route 7, it is an amalgam of existing roads, many of which go back to the pre-automobile era. Parts of Route 2 follow the Mohawk Trail. Other parts are aligned with Route 2A. It's hard to imagine what Leominster looked like before Route 2 was built. Travel east and west on the northern corridor meant going through many towns and cities like Leominster. The main road to Leominster was the old Union Turnpike. Documents show that as early as 1933, Mayor Platt of Leominster petitioned the Massachusetts Department of Public Works to consider extending Route 2 with a state road through Leominster and Fitchburg to Westminster. Leominster Mayor Harold Burdett was a strong advocate of the Route 2 construction effort. On August 12, 1937, work began on the new Route 2 construction. When it was completed, this section of Route 2 was named after the mayor of Fitchburg, George W. Stanton.
So we're taking a little
Stanton was
break.
in office from 1940.
You know, if you want to call in. Oh, we're back here at Inside Leominster. Thank you for joining us tonight. Dean Mazzarella is my name, Mayor of the City of Leominster, and we'll do photos of the week. Wendy prepares these every week. Let's take a call real quick. Caller, welcome to the show.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much.
Not much.
McDonald's is going good.
Good. Happy to hear.
Yep, Mandy said she'll hook you up with free fries.
Well, it's about time. I've been waiting for a long time for them. And you let her know I'm a little bit. I like my fries real hot, right out of the oil vat.
Yeah.
Medium to low on the salt. I don't do too
Yes.
much salt because.
I asked the customers if they want salt on their fries, yes or no.
Yeah, well, most people do, but that's not good for you. But yeah, that's really what it's like eating a
No.
donut. You want it filled with cream and all the bad stuff, but it's not really good for you, right?
No, they still have those donut sticks.
Yes. So in moderation.
Yep, once in a while.
All right, got to run.
I'll talk to you later, buddy.
10-4.
Yep, bye.
All right, let's do photos of the week. Not even sure what's on here this week, but here we go. There's our team. We have an outstanding team. The superintendent of schools, police chief, fire chief, deputy chief, staff from the mayor's office, the health department, emergency management, and there's our preparation team. Our motto is prepared, not panicked. And this is our emergency operations center at Emergency Management Center down at 37 Carter Street. This is where we congregate. This is where We gather when we have incidents, critical incidents, and this is a meeting that we're having that we're in preparation. We have another meeting tomorrow at 10:30, another meeting on Monday, possibly during the weekend. But we're in close contact with each other day and night. And again, we've been through nothing like this in the past, but certainly through other critical incidents, and communication and preparedness is the key. There's a youth art show Art was talking about, and again, kudos to the crew here at Leominster TV, Inside Leominster. That was a great job. Got tons of positive feedback, and some that couldn't make it that night ended up coming at a later date. Wendy staffed City Hall on Saturday in the afternoon and had quite a few families come in, and so very impressive. The art teachers at the schools deserve a lot of credit. We had a young lady playing the piano that night. It was really a nice event, and I'm sure it'll be bigger. And this year was the largest that we've had yet. And at 6 o'clock, it was at basically at maximum capacity. And there we are. I think that's the little gentleman there that Art was talking about. That's probably going to be the next mayor. And all the kids were great. The artwork is superb. What talent. And every one of them respectful and articulate. There we are. The fire station in the rear is almost done. Great work by Gogan Construction. Our fire department worked closely, purchasing agent, building department, and all working, wiring inspector and city electricians, all working closely together to make this a really nice project. So thank you to the taxpayers of Leominster. This is a much needed project and allows us to a much more access for all in that building. Caller, welcome to the show.
Good evening, Mayor. This
Hi.
is Catherine Stevens, and I'm calling because I stopped in today. I received my mail for the census.
Yes.
And it was very confusing to me. I was going to come in and fill it out and send it out, but there's nothing to fill out. There were two papers, one with language that you could choose for other languages.
Right.
And the other had a code number on there, but there's nothing to put it on. So I went down and she told me, I don't have a computer, so I don't do that, you know, and that's what they're asking for, I guess, primarily. And so she said, well, it read later in the
Oh, that's
thing.
what she said, yeah. They're going to send you
Yeah.
something by a paper census to fill out.
If they don't hear from you.
Right, right.
Yeah, but it was confusing because I would have sat down right away when I
Yes.
brought my mail in and
I
put it
didn't-
in the mail.
I didn't realize it. So they're trying to do is get you to fill it out by computer, and then later, if you don't, then they'll have you fill it out by paper.
Yeah, but now they've sent everybody out paper. That's just
Nothing in
gonna
it.
be disposable.
I 100% agree with you. That probably
Yeah.
was a mistake for them to do that, but I guess they had a reason for it. But you're right. You probably would have filled it out and sent it right back today.
Right. That
Well,
was
thank you
my
for letting me
intention.
know that. I didn't know that.
Yes, I spoke to the girl at the office, and she read over the letter and came across the thing that I would receive mail if I don't send it in. So it's going to be waiting for that.
Right.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you. No, very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let's go back to another picture of the week. There we are at the, look at that there, Ronnie. Where's Ronnie? There we are at the Historic Commission, and we had a great conversation. We're going to do this more regularly. You know, we always end up telling stories and sharing information, which I absolutely love to do. And what a great team they have over there at the Historic Commission. What knowledge and what memories they have. So great job. We're going to get them on the show. And we're also going to spend a lot more time over there chatting with them about the history of our city. They know so many cool things. And you can't always put them in a book, and you can't always explain them all. You can't put them in a newspaper article or an editorial. You just got to sort of get on here and chat about it. Celebrating International Women's Day, and we were at the Haitian, not Central, Haitian American Club event at the Elks the other day, and we had a great event. They honored some ladies who were instrumental in helping to get this Haitian American Community Club off the ground, and they've done some wonderful things so far, and it was really a nice day. We had, oh boy, the food the food. That's all I could say is they just kept bringing in food. That's all I could tell you. We had a great day, and there we are, giving some presentation to one of the oldest Haitian resident of the city. She's 100 years old, and her children was there, and grandchildren and great-grandchildren to see this event. And yeah, so we had a great day. So thank you for all attending. And Alati was there from the Congressman's office, Dean Tran from Senator Tran's office, and it was really a nice day. And there we are, getting ready for the next phase of the park at Laurel and Mechanic Street, phase 2. They're starting to bring in equipment and do some tree cutting. They'll be connecting the park from 3rd Street to that park. There'll be a sliding area, a track to walk around. Some playground equipment we'll be adding for little tykes. It's really going to be nice. More and more people using it on a nice day. It's so nice to see people out there. And we're planning for a grant to replace the heating and cooling system at the Leominster Fire Department down on Central Street. That's the Central Street Engine 2 fire station. And so they're doing the groundwork. I believe the grant was submitted today or tomorrow. But thank you to all that helped work on it. Wendy Weeks, grant administrator, and as well as those from the fire department. And Read Across America with Miss Santucci's class. Unfortunately, there's Bill Penning. That's the fortunate part. The unfortunate part is I was carrying a cold with me that day, and I decided that I had to self-quarantine myself. That's the last thing anybody needed at this time. So Bill Penning firefighter Bill Penning was kind enough to fill in for me at Miss Santucci's class, and I thank him for that. Elvin from the police department filled in for me in the afternoon, I believe. So thank you to both of them. And as usual, the first flowers get planted here in the city of Leominster. They got planted yesterday, and I'm kind of thinking that pink flamingo was right when he said early spring. And there we go. Those are photos of the week. So let's get going. We've got about a half hour left, a little less than a half hour. The phone number, we can post it up there, is 978-537-7760, extension 3. If you have a question about anything about the coronavirus, the city's preparedness plan, by all means, give us a call. And you don't have to come on air. You can call us, ask the question off the air, and then we'll answer it, and you could just hang up. Or you can stay on the air and ask the question. We're trying to make it easy for you. Or you can email me the question at dmazzarella@leominster-ma.gov, or just dial that phone number. So here's what I know. So I know that the other day I had asked the superintendent, and this is how things, I guess, work out. I guess we should have started off by saying, we're asking these questions because we want to be prepared. So I'd asked the superintendent to find out how many students didn't have a electronic device that could hook in to the Google, what's called, it's a certain software package called Google Classroom. How many students didn't have a electronic device that could hook in? And then how many students don't have access through the internet from their home? And so we needed to know that. We didn't need to know that because we were about to close schools. We need to know that to be prepared, because there are certain softwares where it's clearly not as good as being in front of a teacher. But do some, it's a very good form of communication, and you can assign classroom assignments. Students can turn them back in. So in the event, and it's not a perfect world, but in the event that you had to learn from home, and teachers had to teach from home or another venue, then we could. And so all we were trying to do is get ready, because technology wasn't available, just a couple of years ago. So we wanted to add this to our overall preparedness plan that we have for the city. So we'll at some point probably doing a special show soon, probably early next week, if not sooner, and we'll have the Emergency Management Director, Jim LeBlanc, on. And if you're watching tonight, Jim, please, by all means, give us a call and chime in. But the city for many years has been working on overall plans for the city, for the schools, for helping businesses set their plan, and working with the hospitals, healthcare industries, and a plan in the event that we had a pandemic, believe it or not. Anyway, let's take the phone call, and then we'll come back to that. Caller, welcome to the show.
Hi. I was calling because I had some questions, obviously probably the same questions that a lot of people have regarding the current outbreak of the coronavirus.
Yes.
On the Leominster Unites page, there is a person possibly spreading a rumor that there has been a confirmed case at Leominster UMass.
Leominster?
Now
Yeah, Leominster Hospital?
Yes.
Okay. I would know that, and I have not heard that.
Okay.
Now
my second question.
Now, there are, and so here's what's beginning to happen. This is my opinion. And obviously, if I started to get sick, I'd start thinking, hey, maybe I have the virus, right? And because a lot of the symptoms are the same as the flu or a cold or whatever. And I, from what I understand, you have a very difficult time breathing, you have a fever. But before, a lot of times when you get a cold, you get all the regular symptoms, you get a cold, shivers and everything. And then at the end of that cold, sometimes you have it settles in your chest, you have a difficult time breathing. So I know that we had a couple of calls from Leominster Hospital today, sending them to the Leominster Health Department. But what I understand the proper procedure is to call your physician. The physician will order a test. So now, but if you end up in the hospital, I'm not sure how they handle that. So as of this very moment, I have not, we would have heard from the Board of Health, from the Health Department, and I have not heard that.
Okay, and secondly, my concern was there is also rumor that UMass Memorial in Leominster is not equipped with the proper testing kits to actually test for the virus. So, God forbid, if someone does go there and they're not properly tested and then not properly quarantined, aren't we increasing the risk of the spread?
Well, I think, again, back to the sort of proper procedure. Tomorrow we have a meeting with Health Alliance in the morning, and we'll know all of that information. I'll certainly update you both on Facebook, and we'll probably get back on here to update people. But my understanding is more and more of the testing, the tests are coming in, and I'm not sure what they have. I think the misconception might be that, again, today somebody had gone to the emergency room or had called a hospital, and they had referred them to the health department, and they came into City Hall, and they said, well, no, you have to go to your doctor. So I think that all comes...
That's the thing right there is that if that person actually did have the virus, now they've gone to the City Hall, they've gone to the emergency room and their doctor's office.
That's correct. But I believe this is the sequence of, this is sort of the proper protocol. And so we have signs up at City Hall that say, if you're not feeling good, don't come into the building, contact your primary doctor. And I believe the primary doctor is the person that will order the test for you.
And then lastly, I personally work for an agency that is remaining open based on school districts. Now, Leominster has not obviously closed, but my concern obviously is if there's other agencies that are going off the same idea, that it potentially could be a domino effect where someone lives in the area where someone has a confirmed, diagnosis, and then it's coming into the agencies that we work at that are not being closed because the school districts are not being closed. So as a precaution, I was wondering why we were still open. Is it because there's no confirmed cases? Are we just going to wait for one? Because it goes beyond the school district of places that aren't closing down to avoid the spread. And personally, the place I work for is a breeding ground for bacteria.
Right. And so I think what's happening is you're seeing all of these events getting canceled. You're seeing, it's going to have a major impact, obviously, on the economy, the state, federal economy, the local economy. We're trying to, sort of handle that. I think the piece that I know the superintendent and the school department has been working like day and night on is preparing. And so I think the inevitable is that at some point, it's going to get, it's my opinion. Don't anybody say I'm saying the schools are going to get closed. I think at some point we're probably going to be there. as to when that will be, I think so. The school department is very close to having a plan in place. So we have to think, and what we're trying to do is prepare homes. So there are many moms and dads or significant others or whoever, caretakers or guardians or whatever, who might be at home, so they could they're prepared for that. So we're trying to get people at home to prepare. So somebody may have a job where maybe they're a nurse, or maybe I met a couple today. They're both in the healthcare industry. They need to be in the workplace now, and so they need to make arrangements for childcare. And so there are all these things. We have to make arrangements so that in the event that a child was getting food in public schools, we're getting breakfast and lunch there, that we have the ability through our food service provider, to be able to provide those resources to the home. So I think it's getting to that point where we're feeling pretty confident as best we can that if we need to shut the schools, then we will. And so tomorrow, I think, is a pivotal time, and the superintendent has a conference call. I have 3 conference calls tomorrow morning, and I think at that point we'll know a lot more about it. But the Secretary of Education for the state is on a conference call with superintendents of schools, and I think we'll know a lot more tomorrow about that. But I will tell you that as much as we've spent day and night is working the plan, so that if we have to kick into any of these plans, including large-scale vaccines, which obviously there isn't a vaccine, but even down to the details of what if we have a vaccine and it has to be we even have a location for that. That's all set in place. And again, the superintendent sending home packets with the kids, again, getting everybody prepared. So I don't know that we can just, in 1 second, yesterday or today, just shut the school system down, and that would have been best. But parents certainly have the option of keeping their kids home, and you have to do.
The problem is there, though, is that I feel like a lot of parents would be in a predicament similar to my own, that we are obligated to go to work as long as the school districts are open. Because, like I said, there are so many agencies that operate based on school closing.
I get it.
So it's difficult, and as a person of the community, my personal opinion, and the mother of 4 young children, is, as a precaution, I think that should be the first thing taken. Only because, I mean, a virus can spread the most random way. I work with someone whose husband is in the post office and delivers packages from China. He brings that home to her, and she brings it to me. I bring it home to my kids. The whole city's going to shut down. Well, and I don't want to be part of the mass hysteria. But at the same time, when you think of the ways that it can come into your home, and then you're sending your children to school with 500 other students, it's a little nerve-wracking.
Well, as I said, I think that we'll know a lot more tomorrow, so stay tuned. And we'll give you, as fast as I get the information, I've been pushing it out. I'm trying to be 100%. I hate the word transparent, but I've been pushing it out as fast as I get it. We've been working with the restaurants, trying to get them, as soon as the weather's nice, to do more. We'll sort of set aside the rules for them so they can do more outdoor dining, so that people aren't inside of the building, and smaller table settings, so that people still want to go out to eat. So we're moving as fast as we can. The schools have been great about disinfecting and keeping all our city buildings clean. At City Hall, we have a night crew come in, then at first thing in the morning, then midday, then afternoon. We've been disinfecting, and so we're and you're right. I mean, at some point, it's going to get to that point where one person might have been exposed, but we don't know. We don't have the results yet. So we're going to have to put anybody that was in contact with them in sort of self-quarantine until we know for sure, and that's just going to multiply.
And I think that's the scariest, is because you never, of course, me as a parent, I'm thinking, I don't want that person to be one of my children.
Right.
So it's definitely, it's a bit nerve-wracking, but I appreciate you answering all of my questions and a lot of the questions that have been arising on the Leominster Unites page.
Yes.
And I will stay tuned for more information. Fingers crossed that they will shut school down.
The second I know anything about anything, when I get out of my meeting with the hospital tomorrow, again, I'll update everybody as fast as I can and let you know what I know. And I'll ask them specifically about the question about, and we were going to ask anyway, about people that are in the hospital or arrive at the emergency room, what the proper protocol is, so that so a person that's sick shouldn't be running around to 6 or 7 different places to find out exactly.
And a person that is coming in with even the potential symptoms of the virus should not be sitting in the waiting room with someone who's there for something as simple as an ear infection. So,
absolutely.
I mean, maybe they should start considering like a separate waiting area or something for people that are presenting these symptoms, because,
absolutely.
I mean, we obviously we want to keep it
contained
out of here, but you know, it's against our control. So,
I think in China, obviously, and there were a number of people who have children that are in China, or people that I know that are there, and and I'm not sure because I don't know the information that China's putting out, whether it's accurate or not, but the whole shutting everything down seems to have worked in the sense that it looks like it's beginning the number of incidents or identifications of the virus are beginning to slow down, and I don't know whether that's changed or all, but that's the first thing I heard all morning. And other than that, I've been in either meetings, on conference calls, or webinars, or.
Well, I mean, there was someone in the Fitchburg market basket yesterday walking around in a hazmat suit.
Yes,
so,
I saw that.
I mean, it's kind of getting to that point where it's like, is that what we're supposed to be doing to avoid this and be like China, where everybody was walking around in bubbles? Is that, I mean, it's just kind of at this point waiting on the word that it's gotten to that point that that's what we have to do to keep our community safe.
The best thing you can do is go to Johns Hopkins or go to the CDC website, and that's probably the most accurate place. And you can also go to the state Department of Public Health, mask.gov, and first thing that comes up, and you can see how many cases there are in each county.
Yeah, I actually was on those websites earlier trying to find information as to why, community-based supports were still operating, that are funded by the state under one roof, when a state of emergency states that if you can avoid gathering in large groups, to avoid doing so. So I was just wondering why, certain places were still operating, when they have the ability to make the choice not to. And I did see that list, and I didn't see our community on it, but like I said, this person on Leominster Unite is like, there's a case confirmed and someone else is being tested, and it's obviously there was like 45 comments in 5 seconds. Everyone's like, there's no testing kits and that's irresponsible, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to ask the mayor.
Thank you. Anytime. And I think the problem is, I mean, just think in the city of Lynn, 17,000 students. Leominster Public School System, 6,000 students. Fitchburg's about the same. Think about sending kids home. And there is a logistical part of this whole thing of just sending students home and saying, we're not sure when you're coming back. In urban settings like this, a little more difficult than some of the smaller school districts. So, the process of getting everything in place so that you're not just saying, just go home, and I don't know, parents and everybody just worry about what you're going to do with these kids. And making sure that they're in a safe environment is a balance.
And of course, as a parent, I appreciate that because, like I said, I'm obligated to go to work because my building is open until my school district is closed. It's kind of a catch-22. So I'm glad that there's plans in place, and I really appreciate you informing me and kind of clearing that up. I actually I posted your video on the Unite page as so people can chime in, just because, I saw the drama of the, case confirmed here and there, and I'm like, okay,
The second the second the health department lets me know, I'm not holding back any, I'm just, whether it's good or bad, I'm just going to let people know so they know. And again, we're not trying to create panic. Again, be prepared, but people should know, right? I mean, those are the kinds of things people should know. So, all good questions.
What do we do now? Lastly, is the city hall stocked up on toilet paper? What if we need to? Because I guess everywhere is out from what I'm reading. So what happens? I'm hoping that there's a plan in place for that.
I have no clue what the connection between toilet paper. Maybe they just see people.
I know, that's what I said. Everyone's like, you're going to get the coronavirus. Let's buy 7,000 rolls of toilet paper.
I think it's one of those, everybody sees everybody else. And now what's happening is people are like, all I want is enough to, my daily kind of thing. But I'm going to have to go out and like looking for the Cabbage Patch doll back 25, 30 years ago.
People are going on Amazon, and it's sold out on Amazon.
Yeah.
Like, where do you even go at this point?
I guess Lowe's is too. Honestly, this is beyond my imagination, but it's typical when people going out getting bread and milk and all this during a storm, and so I guess they feel like they have to prepare. And how do you prepare? You go out and buy toilet paper, and I don't know, and I have no clue what the connection is.
Well, you know what? In addition to the follow-up from your meetings, if you find any toilet paper deals,
Yes.
make sure you post those on your site too.
If anybody knows where you can find toilet paper tonight, would you please call into the show? Because
Let
people
us
need it
know.
they don't want to hoard it, they just want to use it. Like,
Exactly. All right, thank
all
you,
right, excellent,
Mr. Mayor.
excellent,
I appreciate it.
excellent questions. In fact, it was better that you asked the questions so I didn't have to sort of rant for 20 minutes because it's more interactive. So nice job.
Oh, well, no problem.
Thank you.
Just trying to keep my community up to date.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
You have a good night. Thank
Sure,
you.
thank you.
Stay healthy.
It's the plan. I'm trying.
Clock the clock.
Okay. 978-537-7760 is the number to call, extension 3. So great questions. We'll have more answers for you tomorrow. As fast as I get information, I'm pushing it out. And what we're recommending, we'll even bend the rules somewhat for restaurants and pubs. And if we can help to create outdoor seating, even if it's temporary space, we've got some guidelines that you need to meet. But we'd rather have, if we get some nice weather, it looks like nice weather next week, rather than just shutting down all the restaurants. And, you know, just if we can get people outdoors, I've got to assume, I asked the health department this today or yesterday, you know, aren't we better off if we have, you know, a table of 4 or 5 or 2 or 3 and have them outside and having food preparers bring the food out to them? Is that, you know, sort of better? Because people still have to eat and people are still working. You've got public safety people that are working, people working in the health industry. They're going to continue to have to eat. Every incident that we've had, whether it's the ice storm or the snowstorms or flooding, whatever it might be, fires, people have to still be serviced. You still have to provide food. So we want to keep those restaurants open. And, you know, that's critical for them in their business. And so we're trying to be safe, again, prepared, but not panicked. And we will certainly let you know if things change. We'll tell you, listen, things have changed with what we thought you could do before, what you can't do now, and this is what we've changed our recommendation, and here's what we think. If you're watching streaming, we're doing it live over my own Facebook. We're also doing it on LEOMINSTER TV, so you can go to their Facebook page. And if you have any questions, you don't have to ask them here live. You can simply call and ask the question offline. They'll ask me the question, and we'll get you the answer. So, getting back to our master plan, for years, the folks at Emergency Management with private businesses, National Grid, public utilities, businesses, Health Alliance, healthcare industry, pretty much all stakeholders have worked on these plans. And these plans are pretty extensive. So it was nice when I sat down with our team the other day, and the emergency management director and the health department gave me a copy electronically, as well as this huge binder I should have brought with me tonight, but with a whole plan laid out for a pandemic. And from A to Z, whether it's a small incident or a large-scale incident. And so it's just refreshing to know. And now, what we've worked on that, and the school department has been working day and night on, superintendent, I give her tons of credit with her staff, they've been working on refining that, because obviously things change and the situation changes. We don't know if it's going to be a flood or a pandemic or what it might be, a flu outbreak or who knows. But we work on refining that and building off of that. And I think I feel pretty comfortable right now that as we stand tonight, that that plan, it could be put in place. And whether it's a piece of it or all of it could be put in place. Obviously, we're going to need the public's help. If we get into a public vaccine process, we're going to need nurses and others to help administer that. And we're lucky that we have a whole lot of healthcare workers here in the area. Caller, welcome to the show.
Hey, Dean.
Hi.
I was listening to the show. This is Bruce. And I just happened to be at the basket this evening.
Yes.
And it's just pure pandemonium there.
Mm.
And I think the biggest thing that we need to recognize is that we've got to stop the hysteria.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, there was a 25-minute line to check out.
Right.
People are roaming the parking lot trying to find carts.
Right.
And there's been reports that something similar is happening at Hannaford today. I think that's the biggest thing we've got to get out. That people need to take a breath and think about what the belief they're doing.
I saw the pictures that you posted before I got here, and I'm like, are you serious? Well, I knew you had said you were going down, and then so I kind of watched, and people were starting to post, BJs. But the thing is, even the CDC didn't say, hey, go out and get, like piles of toilet paper. I mean, there's ample food in the food stores, and they'll continue.
We just went down for some regular grocery shopping. And you can't we had no idea this was taking place.
Right. And I feel bad for somebody who's elderly who thought they were going to go shopping on a Tuesday or a Wednesday and now Thursday. And this is, so what's going to happen is people will be lined up at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning to get into the stores. And you're right, it's panic, and it's not necessary at this point. It's not necessary.
And I just posted, in relation to what you said, let's prepare, not panic.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest thing we've got to stress. Whether and personally, I think the media is the biggest. There's just too much hyperbole coming out of the media right now.
Right.
It's got to stop. People have to think about what they're doing.
I can only. I guess I'm type A, and I can sort of multitask. I've gotten better at it, better than I was, and I always multitask. But I've got Bloomberg, Fox business channels going off in the background, streaming. I'm watching the stock market. I've got my, my phone going. I'm watching. I've got like this war center in front of me all day long, and I got to tell you, it's overwhelming for this to go on 24/7. And then at night, I listen to Bloomberg because they're doing international, stock and reporting in on the financials of all these other countries. And I got to tell you, by 7 in the morning, I'm overwhelmed. And
absolutely.
Get away from the TV. I think take a break. Get away from the TV. It's all common sense. They've listed out what you should do and you shouldn't. Go to the CDC website, and I'd say go out for a walk. And
tomorrow's Friday the 13th. It's not going to get any better.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to avoid that, thinking about it, but you know what? I think if it was a justified panic to go out and get all this stuff, the government agency just say, listen, get out there and get as much food as you possibly can. Go buy rice, store stuff in your basement. Look, everybody should have an individual plan in case they have to be self-quarantined, in case they have to be in the house.
Completely agree. But people need to live their lives instead of being ruled by whatever they're being ruled by at this point.
Or they're going to shut down the whole economy. They're going to shut down the whole economy. Second to the Great Depression, 2008 will look like nothing compared to what's going to happen now.
How many people were put out of work today because the leagues are suspending their seasons?
Are you still working at Amazon?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, but I mean that place must be wild.
Actually, no, it's not.
No,
no, not really. But it's just there's going to be a lot of people.
Oh.
A lot of people are going to be losing their jobs because.
Right here in Leominster, there are people who work at many building trade booths for the trade industry. They're canceling all these trades. People that work in the hospitality business. Boston is, let's face it, tourism season's about to begin. All those sporting events, you'd be surprised what a multiplier there is out there. And you're going to find companies who made paper products or plastic products that supplied these industries. And now all of a sudden they're just shutting everything down. So anyway.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to reach Leominster if it hasn't already.
Oh, it's reached us already. But we're going to stay positive. We're going to be prepared, but we're not going to panic people.
And that's the thing. I really, because you've got your bully pulpit, if you want to call it that.
Yep. All right.
Let them, let the Sentinel and let's not blow this out of proportion.
I got to run because we're going to get cut off by the computer here. So. Thanks, Bruce.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll be back on the air. Believe me, check on our Facebook, call City Hall, watch. We'll push out information as we get it from the state and the federal government and locally. Thank you for watching. Thank you, our guests. Thank you for the whole team at LTV. Good night. God bless you. Remember, the world is run by those who show up. Stay healthy and show up. Good night.
Inside Leominster is brought to you through the generous support of Colonial Insulation Company, residential and commercial insulation and fireproofing services, specializing in blown-in cellulose as well as spray foam insulation. For more information, visit their website, colonialinsulation.com. And by Medical Arts Hearing Instruments, 52 West Street in Leominster, locally and authentically providing better hearing and quality of life since 1978. www.donotshout.com.